I saw Trolls band together. I didn't see Wish. Gloria said it was really good. Nina said it was really bland. And it bombed.
Yeah, it did bomb, and it wasn't supposed to be like the 100th episode, or not 100th year of 100th episode of the podcast, the 100th year of Disney, and it was kind of like a celebration.
Because when you wish upon a star, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but she did bring me out to see Trolls, and at this point I've seen some of the TV show. I've seen the first 2 movies many, many times. I've seen the holiday specials. They got 2 Christmas specials. I'm a Trolls fan. I'm a Dreamworks fan. I love Puss in Boots and The Last Wish was one of the best kids movies to come out in the last couple of years. I tell you, man, like DreamWorks and Illumination.
Yeah, Universal. Those are both Universal.
Yeah, they're both Universal. That's right. They know how to make a movie for a family. I'll say this. If you've never seen one of these Trolls movies, you can't start with Trolls band together. It'll be incomprehensible.
The Trolls lore is too deep.
The joke of Trolls is that the whole thing is like on crack. It's like a self-parody. Everything is glitter and music and craziness, and the joke is everybody's too fucking much. There's one of the holiday specials is about Poppy, played by Anna Kendrick, trying to show one of the Bergens, her best friend who's like a giant that used to eat people, trying to help her find a holiday tradition. And she's just too fucking much. It's like, it's like the friend who is planning your wedding for you, and you have to tell them to calm the hell down. Like that is a lot of the joke. And Justin Timberlake does the voice of the main male, Branch. Oh, okay. And in the first movie, he was like a conspiracy theorist, like lived in a bunker, lived in fear because these giants would eat them. And a giant ate his grandma. In the second one, they find out that there are many more Trolls villages than theirs. They actually belong to the pop music Trolls, and there are classical music Trolls. One of the rock music Trolls is trying to bring the 6 strings together to play the ultimate power chord, which will destroy the world. But then in this third one, they retconned it so that Branch, Justin Timberlake, used to be in a boy band when he was a baby. And they used that as an excuse to bring NSYNC back together. So NSYNC is in the movie for making new music for the first time in 18 years. And at one point they do a medley of like New Kids on the Block, like and they do a Backstreet song. So like NSYNC sings a Backstreet.
Oh, crazy!
Yeah, my favorite joke in the movie, and I was like, that'll preach. Poppy finds her long lost sister, and the sister is living in fear of those giants. But she doesn't know yet that those giants have reformed and that they're not going to eat trolls anymore, because that happened in the first movie. And Branch is cured of his fear. And he goes, hey, listen, I get it. I used to live in fear too. I lived in a bunker, and you know what? It was great. I got to live without wearing any pants, but I was living without pants. That's great. That sums it up, doesn't it? Like sometimes it can be very comfortable to live in fear and live in isolation, but you're like, but you know what? You're living without fucking pants.
Look, I used to be just like you. I built a bunker and I lived in it for years because I knew it was safe. And I never had to wear pants. But I was living without pants.
But there was one thing I did not like about the movie. It's very subtle. You gotta catch these things. EJ, there had to have been like 4 or 5 jokes that were about therapy or CBT or, I think the creators are all in therapy and they're all, and it's like, it's their world. It's what they know. So they make jokes about it. There's just, like one of the characters like, but I just revealed a trauma. You can't like kick me out of your office now.
But I just revealed a major trauma.
Or another character was like, the one that was afraid of giants, the giant that was friendly. She was like, just take steps close to my mouth. It's called like disassociative therapy or something.
You can take tiny steps toward it, letting yourself feel and breathe your way through the anxiety. It's called systematic desensitization.
There's just a lot of jokes like that I think they just know. I think the writers know a lot about it.
Well, what are you gonna do?
This is covered by insurance, right?
No, I'm out of network.
Other than that, the animation's exquisite. It's filled with creativity and comedy, and Amy Schumer has a role in it, which you'd think like, well, that's going to be intolerable, but it wasn't. It was good. And then I just wanted to add real quick, Lex Luthor, Nicholas Holt, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be our new Lex Luthor, and I like that guy.
Yeah, he was kind of the was it the Menu? Is that the Menu?
Yep,
That was called?
yep. And did you ever see The Queen? Was it called The Queen? Yeah, he was really good in that. He played Beast, of course. He was the boy in About a Boy.
Right.
He was in like Jack the Giant Slayer, I think. Like he was like Jack, but he's just been a promising actor for a long time, and I think he's right for this role, actually.
Yeah, all the casting decisions seem like that Righteous Gemstone kid Gideon is playing Jimmy Olsen, and that's perfect. That's a perfect casting. Can't even believe it.
I think it's exciting. And this thing doesn't come out for another 2 years. That's why I just wish that like let's just make superhero stuff go away for a little while, and then we'll kind of reset the whole thing with Superman. And
the Marvels, I feel like I can close the door on Marvel for a bit, and I don't think I'll check things out until, because it's you get into this loop of just you feel like you're just hating on things, but
right.
you can just stop watching, and then if there's a lot of buzz around a show, I'll come back and I'll watch it.
There's always the morbid curiosity. There's always like maybe it'll turn into, 'cause something like Andor, as an example, is like, you wouldn't want to miss that because it's weird. Even though I didn't enjoy the show ultimately, it's strange that it exists.
And we're going to get the Echo show, which is they're going to dump all at once in 5 episodes. I guess I'll probably check that out. Damn it.
With TVMA. This, I'll tell you, I'll just be upfront about like why I keep watching, why I'm in it at this point. The serial commercial failures have been so over the top at this point. Like it's really quite comical. Like I would say the average person knows Disney is a failing company.
Yes.
Or is it's trending downward?
Yeah, because if they had Wish fail and you have the Marvels failing, people just they know not to see these things.
Strange Worlds.
Strange World was last year, yeah, and it's
There's a lot of Pixar that didn't perform where Pixar should perform. Obviously, Marvel, Star Wars, they wouldn't dare do a movie.
Yeah, and Taika Waititi's like saying he's gonna make a Star Wars movie people are gonna hate. It's like, what are you doing?
What the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Yeah, they've got some of these creatives like Ryan Johnson and stuff, they got a real hard on for that sort of thing. They're like, oh, you're gonna hate it. At some point, some economic force is going to require a change in trajectory. It's going to require that not every one of their movies be written by dumb millennials with urban millennial humor about stupid shit like generational trauma. Like every movie is about generational trauma. I was thinking about, I was like, it's a shame that we always get in a cycle of talking about the representation and stuff. That is a factor, the sort of the hollowness of some of that. But I really think it just stems out of kind of that urban millennial culture that runs the company. It's like, it's just pathological. So at some point, like, and that's going to be really hard for them to realize, like, I think it's just us. I think we just all suck and maybe we just have to replace ourselves.
Yeah, but they're getting promoted. Like Michael Waldron got promoted. He's writing the next movies. He wrote Multiverse of Madness, and he wrote the first season of Loki.
Oh my god!
It's like these people who fail just keep getting promoted. I don't.
But
understand.
why? Why do you think?
I think they can't. They can't stop. I think the culture is just this, and they can't stop it. Like they would have to clean the whole house. And
they can't clean themselves. Well, something's going to require a major change, and I think that they're not going to manage that change well. And no. I'm going to be very entertained, I think, or at least compelled to try to understand each step along the way from here.
Yeah, because I think other companies like got the message. I'm not just talking about go woke, go broke kind of things, because I don't think that's necessarily right. I think. It's just, I just think they're incapable of telling stories. So,
yeah, I think they can tell a story about like how their dad doesn't like them or something. That's the kind of stories they tell.
And then as long as they keep doing that, Universal's going to eat their lunch,
But that has been the sideshow that has been watching this whole thing with Wish and the Marvels is just kind of, it's like a girl broke up with a guy and just like listening to the guy try to figure out why she broke up with him. They just don't hit with families. Yeah, Disney has to hit with families, right? Like first and foremost. And they're not, like Lightyear, I continue to think is one of the best examples of this. And I think like there's a little bit of Lightyear in every one of these movies. There's a little bit of that, like just off the mark. Like, oh, we it'll be interesting to look at the existentialism of it or something.
Yeah, or deconstructed, or
Deconstructed, subvert it. Yeah, right.
Subvert it, yeah. What if, Luke Skywalker was a piece of shit? And you're just like,
then
okay.
The common refrain is like, yeah, but Barbie made $1 billion and Barbie did all of those things. And it's like, well, Barbie's target demographic was urban millennials.
Urban millennial women. And they're, I don't know, you've seen those charts. It's like, what if only women vote in like most of the America states are blue? And it's like, what if all men only voted and they're kind of leaning red? And it's like, so if you cater to this audience that obviously likes those things or tolerates a lot of that stuff, or it serves them, and it also gives them a lot of the fan service of Barbie, it's gonna succeed.
Like the number of tickets sold, it's probably something like it's like 9 million people saw it. So 9 million people made for a $1 billion hugely successful movie, but it's 350 million people in this country. So it's just like the job of a movie is to figure out which 9 million people it can get to come to the theater, right? And Disney's thing has been families, and it ain't getting families in the door. So what they should do is make a Barbie movie about gynecology and call it Lightyear.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.